everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. For those who have not been here, welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you have been here before. In fact, for those who have been here before, comment down below if you found me through my video comparing the Revlon to the Babyliss Hot Air Brush, because today we are going to be comparing two hair products again. We're going to be comparing the Dyson Airwrap with the Shark Flexstyle. I have tried both, neither are sponsored, wouldn't that be cool? But I have much to say on the topic. In fact, I brought both with me to my hair appointment yesterday so that my friend Kendra could try both products on me. We did a complete comparison. We each have a lot of thoughts. So let's get into today's video. The format of today's video is going to be talking about each device, what attachments they come with, pros and cons of all of the things that they come with or don't come with. And then we're going to talk about considerations, not only from me as a customer of both products, but also from Kendra, who's a professional hairstylist and has a lot of wisdom to share on her experience using both tools. I'm also going to tell you how well the curls held up. I have footage throughout the rest of the day after my hair appointment showing how the curls fell, how they held up, what did, what didn't. And I'm also going to share some travel considerations because I am a luxury travel advisor and I would like to share those thoughts as well because I think that they are important. Okay, here they both are. This is the Shark Flexstyle. This is the Dyson Airwrap. Each of them have a curling barrel placed in them right now. This is a 1.25 inch barrel and this is a 1.2 inch barrel. This also comes with a 1.6 inch barrel. While I have them in front of you from this angle, I wanna talk about the placement of the buttons. All the controls are right here, so when you're using it, your thumb can press all of the buttons. On this one, you kind of can't. It's not very intuitive. You kind of want to be using your thumb and you just can't reach them. You can, it's just not quite as easy. I feel like Dyson really thought out the button placement. Going closer on the buttons, this is when you turn it on. It has heat and 3 different levels, and the speed is 3 different levels as well. This is a cooling button. On this one, it has pretty much all the same things. There's 3 different levels of heat over here, and just like the other one over here. And then its cool button is here. So when you just turn it on kind of in the middle, that's when it heats up and wraps your hair. And then the cool shot is at the very top. I'm actually going to talk about the attachments in a moment, just because no matter what attachment you're using, these button considerations are going to be important to have in mind. Regarding the cool shot on both tools, this gets cooler, this does not. The cool shot, in our experience, didn't really get cold enough for it to be considered a cool shot. It was kind of like maybe a warm shot. This doesn't get cold, but it gets colder than this one's cool shot. One more thing about the base of each tool is that each brush or attachment will lock in right here, which is nice. This is unique to Shark though. Putting the Dyson down for a moment to show you how this works. This button right here in the back, if you pull that down, this turns. This is nice for 2 reasons. 1, you could potentially curl like this. Or when this turns into the hair dryer concentrator tool, then it kind of feels like a normal blow dryer, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But I did want to show you that as well while we talk about the base of each tool, because no matter what attachment you have, it's all going to go into the same base. Now let's talk about what comes with each. Starting with the Shark, we already talked about the 1.25 inch barrel. Here's the thing, it comes with one other barrel. It's also 1.2 inches. Why have 2 identical size barrels? It's because one is for the right side of your head and one is for the left side of the head. Let me tell you why I don't like that. This is silly to me, and apparently the older version of the Airwrap had the same thing. I'm very glad that the Airwrap comes with 1 barrel, and we'll talk about the differences in a moment, but if you're getting the Shark, know that it only comes with 2 barrels, not a small and a big, but 2 of the exact same size. They are meant for going away from your face like this. If you wanted to alternate, you would have to go one way and then switch, and then go one way and then switch. that is not what I'm looking to do. So that was an immediate like, oh no, man, like why does the cheaper one have that? So that was a bummer to me. Additionally, with the barrels, this is supposed to, I think, be for more airflow, the way that it's shaped, as opposed to a kind of more round like this. By the way, this is how you change the direction of the airflow. Is that not 1,000 times easier than just trying to? Okay, so it's a consideration. It's very worth knowing, because I think a lot of people will look at the difference between the two products, hello sir, and think, oh yeah, okay, this comes with 2 size barrels too, but it doesn't. So putting those away for a moment, the Shark also comes with this concentrator tool for when you are using it as a blow dryer. So you probably wouldn't do that, considering it does turn, and you can use it more like a traditional blow dryer, which I enjoy, and so did Kendra. It also comes with 2 brushes. One is very much reminiscent of the Revlon One Step. It's kind of more oval, it's large. This one is more of a paddle brush. So these are both good options. They're kind of big, but I mean, I would totally use them. They do work. They're good. The Dyson also comes with brushes. They are just different. There's a couple. I have not even used this one. It's actually meant for thicker and curlier hair, because the brushes themselves are longer, so they can really get in there and create that tension. This one is meant for either shorter hair or less curly hair. This one would work really well if you have a similar hair type to mine. If your hair is very curly, I would use this one. Yeah, the difference is this has longer bristles. So this is supposed to be a soft hair smoothing brush and a firm hair smoothing brush. That's what they call it. So it comes with both of those. So I can see if you're getting the Dyson and it comes with all this stuff, you're like, well, I don't even need that. I have an option for you, but for now, this is what that comes with. It also comes with a round brush attachment that looks like this. So this is Dyson, this is Shark. Obviously there is a huge size difference, but if you're using this when you get like a blowout, when you get a haircut or something like that, I mean, this is pretty much the size that my hairdresser would use, maybe a little bigger, but regardless, this is a typical blowout size brush. So I do like that. And as far as the hair dryer attachment for the Dyson, this is the last of the Dyson attachments, would be this. Kind of funny looking. I've never seen one like this until this product. So this side is where the air comes out. This side is a smoothing side. So it's like you would blow dry your hair like this, and then you would go over it again with the smoothing, which is a really neat feature. I really like that. We use this with Kendra. There's also a tool up here like that. So that's everything that comes with each tool. But then I went and got my hair highlighted with Kendra. We split my hair down the middle, and we did Dyson on one side and Shark on the other. We put the following products in my hair. They are called, let me check my notes, the 11 Miracle Spray and the 11 Medium Hold Styling Cream. So we used both of those, and we began to rough dry each side. And then instead of using either round brush, because we couldn't do a fair comparison, she just used her regular round brush. We did not use the ones that came with either tool, because like I've shown, the Dyson one is considerably smaller than the Shark one. So we didn't want to yield different results. We wanted to make things as consistent as possible. As we began to dry my hair, the following considerations came up, and also the following issues. The first of which has to do with heat. The Shark feels hotter. We were not able to get as close to my scalp as we were with the Dyson. Neither felt too hot. If I were to use like a professional hair dryer, usually I get like red ears, and that wasn't so much happening, but Kendra even was like, well, I'm not getting close to your scalp with the Shark, but I am with the Dyson, and it still doesn't hurt. So that's a consideration as well. Shark, I don't think says their highest heat setting that they use, but with Dyson, they're checking like X times per second to make sure that it never goes over a certain temperature, which for me is a large consideration, because I have had a lot of heat damage and I'm trying to not have that anymore. So the temperature is a consideration to me, but the shark was not unbearable by any means. That said, we could see in the mirror that the products we were using were smoking off of my hair while we used the shark. On the Dyson, it didn't do that. So, like, we saw it, we could see it rising into the mirror, and you know, that's cause for pause. Another thing we noticed while drying, a plus for shark, is that because it does create more of a traditional blow dryer shape, Kendra had an easier time using it. And I might too, except that I have so much experience using the Revlon One Step that this doesn't feel all that different to be drying my hair like that. But neither does this, because I'm used to using both shaped tools, I suppose. But Kendra did like that this had an option to create this sort of traditional hairdryer shape. Another thing Kendra noticed while rough drying both sides of my hair is that this side with the shark created more frizz. And she's like, I'm using like techniques I have to create more oomph at the top of your head. And she's like, I'm just not getting it on the shark side. She was able to get it with the Dyson side though. Also, I went back and watched the footage, and to dry this half of my head, it took about 1.5 minutes, and the other one took 2.5 minutes. So shark did take longer to dry the same amount of hair. Once she was done rough drying, she used her round brush to finish off all of the drying, and then we began to try the curling attachments. We stuck with the 1.25 with Shark and the 1.2 with Dyson so that we had the most comparable sizes. We didn't want to use the 1.6 to compare with a 1.25 barrel. So some considerations regarding the drying process with both is that heat was a huge factor for me. While we could get close to my scalp with the Dyson, we couldn't as much with the Shark, although the heat was not as unbearable as other hair dryers that I've used in the past. Sometimes my ear would get red and things like that, and I wasn't really experiencing that with Shark, but she did mention, well, I'm getting really close to your scalp with Dyson, but I'm not with Shark. Even though it felt like more air, Dyson side felt more comfortable. I was very impressed with it, and I also like that it has that kind of smoothing attachment to go on top after you rough dry. At one point, I was talking about taking both products and trying them on my mom. My mom has gray hair, and she said, your mom is probably gonna like the Dyson better because gray hair is typically more coarse and therefore would get frizzier more. She also lives in a climate that is more humid than where I live. So the Shark would not be her best bet due to the texture of her hair and the humidity where she lives. The wisdom of Kendra, you guys. Oh, noise is a consideration as well. The Dyson is about 25% quieter than the Shark. I know that from another review video where they tested the decibels. So after we did the rough dry of both sides with both products, she, like I mentioned, used her regular round brush just so that we weren't trying to compare a barrel this big and a barrel that big for both sides. And then we went on to the curling attachments. We used the 1.25 barrel with the Shark and the 1.2 with the Dyson and started the process. Here is what we learned there. Okay, when we moved on to curling, we of course have the 2 barrels on the Shark. We only used one because we only did one half of my head. So we used the right one, and it was fine. It created bouncy curls, but by the time we went to this side, they had pretty much fallen. So no real complaint about the process. There were some times where it would kind of do it for me, and then I might have to, let's pretend that it's just taking a piece and it goes round and maybe it gets about this far, but this part is hanging off. And so you kind of have to just manually put it there so it finishes curling. Once it's there, you can let go. But there were some pieces where I had to do that. You kind of have to do that with both every now and then though, whether it's Dyson or Shark. So I don't really count that as a huge flaw, just because unless you're really sectioning each piece out, you're gonna run into that. Now remember when Kendra said that the side that we blow dried was frizzier when we used Shark, she thought it might be a little frizzier when we curled with Dyson. So that was an interesting comparison. But once the curls were done, we really didn't notice it. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess, because the final product was not frizzy in the curl department, but there was overall more frizz on the shark side. Ooh, another thing I want to tell you about the barrels real quick. The Dyson is longer. So if your hair is long or longer than mine, this will obviously hold more hair per curl, and this just is about an inch less. Now, a huge question is, how does it hold up? I'm going to put some footage in here. I'm going to show you how each side looked when we were completely finished. And because it only took a few minutes to curl each side, it's not like just because we did the first side on shark and it fell more meant that, like, you know, 2 hours had gone by and then we do the other side. Like, this was only in a few minutes. And as you'll see throughout the day, my curls on the Dyson side did hold up substantially better than the shark side. And this pains me to say because we have not even covered the price difference between the two products. But the shark is around $399 and the Dyson is about $599. You guys, these are both very expensive tools. So you really want it to hold up. You want it to be an easy process. You don't want your hair smoking. You don't want to be switching barrels each way. Like, I mean, there's a lot to consider, which I hope that this video will help you do if you are interested in buying either one. So I do think that's important to realize. Now, there is a way to save some money on the Dyson. You can get it at Costco, but let me put a big asterisk there, because while you could get the Dyson Airwrap at Costco for $4.99 instead of, no, $3.99? $3.99 instead of $5.99. So you would save $200, you think, except that it only comes with the 1.2 barrel and not the 1.6. It does not come with the smoothing brush, which is actually kind of hard to find, but you can find it on Dyson's website. And it comes with the round brush attachment as well as this dryer. So it comes with 3 attachments: round brush, the hair dryer, and the 1.2 inch barrel. You can always buy the 1.6 barrel or the brush online a la carte if you would like. So that is a way to save money. Each of those extra pieces, if you were to buy them a la carte, would be about $40 each. So now you've gone from $400 to $480. If you want to buy a case, the Dyson, if you buy it straight up, comes with this big case. Personally, I think this is huge, and I'm a bit of a minimalist when it comes to space in my cabinet and prefer less space being taken up. So that's not a huge deal to me if I don't have that huge case, because there are Amazon cases you can get, soft ones, hard ones like this. Although I do believe it's important to mention that it may void your warranty if anything happens to the tool and it's in a soft case and not the Dyson one. I think that could like void your warranty potentially. However, we have options. But by the time you spend $40 a product, if you wanted to add those to your Costco Airwrap, plus you get a bag or a box or something to hold it in, even if it's a less expensive one, you're still within like $100. And if you don't have Costco and you have to get a membership or something like that, like it's not the biggest cost savings. It's not like you're still saving a $200 difference, you know what I mean? But totally worth it. If you have Costco, it is cheaper in the long run to get it there. So just, you make that choice for you. If you have a membership, this could be a smart way to do it. Ultimately though, considering how well my curls held up with Dyson and how poorly they held up with Shark, I will not be keeping the Shark, but I have thought, would I like the Shark if I didn't buy the Dyson and didn't have it to compare to? Some people love it. I know another hairdresser who told me like, oh no, like forget the Dyson, the Shark is just as good. But in my experience on my hair, which is hard to keep a curl anyway, it just didn't really work out for me. Also, the fact that I know I can get a sleeker dry as opposed to a frizzy one is something that makes me vote for Dyson. The heat consideration, personally, is another vote for Dyson for me, just because when we saw the smoke coming off my hair, that concerned me. Like, I know we just did that side, but look at the difference of like,
exactly,
so curly,
like
and this
so
is like, it's almost
We're doing a comparison of Shark and Dyson right now.
Oh, I have a Dyson and I love it.
But, oh, really? Okay, this
Yes.
is good to know. We're liking it too.
I just feel like you get so much more body and so much more volume on
So
this
when
side.
there's less heat damage and I get to wear it longer because they're tighter and therefore will last longer.
Yes.
Those are two considerations that personally for me are going to be big.
Yes.
Longevity of the curl and how defined the curls were also important to me, because at first they were very curly, and if you curl your hair often, you know that like first you do it and you look like Shirley Temple for a moment, and you let your curls completely cool before you kind of brush through them a little bit, and they were still more defined. And so they're always a little more defined than I want at the beginning, but then they last longer because they take longer to fall. So I like that the Dyson did that, and I like that their round brush attachment is smaller, because then overall, the time I put into doing my hair will last longer. I am a busy mom. I'm a busy working mom. I need things to last. Like, I can't be doing a blowout every single day. However, each tool is fast enough that you could do touch-ups very quickly. I touched up my hair before this video. It took all of like 2 minutes just on each side. It was very quick. I did not time it. I don't know that it was 2 minutes, but I hope you get the point that it was a fast experience. And then also, that aside, we've got heat, we have longevity of the hairstyle, we have frizz, we have all of these considerations that it's probably pretty clear that my vote goes to Dyson. However, with both products, I've got a problem with both, and here's where the travel consideration comes into play. Neither of these items that are so expensive are dual voltage. How does one create such an expensive product and not have it be dual voltage? This pains me, but dual voltage is the first of the travel considerations that I want to mention, because if you want to go to Europe from the United States, you're not bringing this, because you cannot put this into an adapter. It does not have the right voltage to handle that. You will break the product, it could be dangerous. You don't want to do that. So you have this amazing product that you can only use in certain places, but you're a little more limited to be able to use it in other places. And to me, that is a huge oversight on both products. The next consideration I have in regards to travel is actually personal preference, depending on who you are and how much you like to style your hair. If you are someone who loves to style their hair and you want a bunch of different styles, and you can't imagine going out of town without multiple, your round brush, your curling iron, your flat iron, then either of these tools would be good for you, because it's one base and multiple things, as long as you're not going to a country that requires an adapter. But if you are someone who wants a round brush and you want this and that and whatever, then it's great to have multiple things. You don't have to bring a hair dryer. There are some people who are like, oh, I could just use the hotel hair dryer. Yes, you could. But some people are very against hotel hair dryers. I mean, just ask around. Next time you're with people, ask them what they think of hotel hair dryers. You are gonna find a mixed bag. I will say though, part of why I tried this is because I went to a hotel this summer that had a Dyson hair dryer, and in 6 minutes, my hair was completely dry right out of a shower, and it was amazing, and it never got too hot, which made me really want to try this. But point is, if you are someone who wants a lot of different hair tools, this could be great because it kind of saves you space overall. So you have that, and on the other side of the coin, you have people who do not want to take up space in their suitcase with hair tools. They might want a hair tool, maybe one, but they are sure not gonna bring an enormous tool like either of these. So for those people, this would be a deterrent. I have a solution for that. I have a couple. One is that whatever you use has to be dual voltage, of course, but I usually use my flat iron, which is dual voltage, because I can, this will be the flat iron, I can kind of smooth things out, I can straighten, or I can curl with a flat iron. In fact, my first YouTube video ever, it was on a different channel, was curling hair with a flat iron. Fun fact. But I mentioned all of this to one of my best friends who introduced me to this. I'll do a review on this another time, but this is a thermal round brush that you plug in. It's dual voltage. You can always use an adapter if you are somewhere else, but of course you can use it at home. And I did actually recently. I tried it, it's great. My curls did fall some, but they were really nice, and I can see myself using this a lot. This is from Amazon, I'll link it below. I'll do a review on it as well because I am happy with it. But having something like this, or a flat iron that's dual voltage that you can get multiple styles out of one tool, and both a flat iron and this is pretty small, you're not going to run into it taking up a lot of space in your bag. So those are the travel considerations I wanted to share. Man, so many considerations, but you know what? Before you invest in something this expensive, I would want to know all about it. And so I hope that this let you either satisfy curiosity or help you make an informed decision. And with that, I do hope that this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing what you guys think of the tools or what you use instead. I thought this was a really fun experiment to do. Kendra and I had so much fun. It was fun to just be with a friend who were playing with hair, but also doing this for science. So whatever you get out of this, I do hope that you got something from it, and let me know down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Comment below, let me know your thoughts as well. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.